Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're just going to check in with my paycheck on the YNAB, which is You Need a Budget. So let's just get right to it. Oh, I'm going to remember this time to make it larger. I did have a couple of things that posted yesterday. Let's go to all transactions. Just in the spirit of transparency. I went and did the trip to the local place where I take the vet, my pets, and went ahead and had and I keep calling it key lime leukemia shot, which when I heard myself on the video, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, I thought, did I really say key lime leukemia? And I was thinking, no, that was just probably the way that the headphones picked up the sound. But no, when I went to the vet and I said, yeah, I'm here to bring the pets for the key lime leukemia shot. I don't know why I keep saying that. So feline leukemia, and then I also had their nails trimmed. So I went ahead and did that, and I was doing a lot of errands in addition to that yesterday, and I stopped at McDonald's, as I did. I spent $5 or so. Tried to go as inexpensive as possible, but I was just doing a lot of things yesterday, and the vet visit was just one of many things I was doing. So, yeah, what can I say? Um, so my paycheck did come in. I had a couple other things come through, so I went ahead and accepted those so that we could just go in and assign my paycheck. So when I put that stuff in, I went ahead and reconciled what needed to happen here. So we're in the middle of the month, and I'm just at this point dealing with the bills that haven't been paid already. And let me just close the category just to make this a little bit easier. I know I don't have anything in homeowner. Everything has been paid so far this month for the homeowner category. Utilities, I do have a couple, so I'm going to go ahead and assign what's left on Cox. And I had to pull a little from Cox because I originally had half of it covered on the first paycheck, but I just overspent and I pulled a little bit from that. So I just need to cover the full 120 here. So I'm just going to put that, and then that'll be ready to pull out here in the next day or two. I fully expected this to post, but it hasn't yet, but it's fine. That was actually good because it was running so tight. Pet care, let's close this up just to make it a little less cluttered. This is where I went ahead, I split up the grooming for both of the cats. It was $49.50, which I think is reasonable. It might be just a smidge cheaper at Petco or Petland or Pet whatever. But I like going there because my pets know the person who does the trimming, and they don't have any problems with going in and getting that done. I just don't want to create a trauma for them going to different places. So I feel like just even if it's an extra $5 a month, I'm okay with that. The feline leukemia shot was $185 for both of them. So I did partially fund that, but I did have to put a little extra just to cover the rest of that. And I'm glad to have that done. The other thing that I had to do was, so the reason I mentioned I had to go and get that second booster, even though originally I wasn't going to do it, is because when my son's girlfriend moves in, she has a cat that has been outdoors. And I think they're going to turn it into an indoor cat, but I don't know that you can actually do that, guys. I'm going to have to get them to research that and make a more informed decision. They said they were doing it out of a courtesy because I have two indoor cats, and they didn't want to create an environment that was strange for the indoor cats if they see a cat going outdoors. But I'm like thinking, I think it would be more traumatic for an outdoor cat to be then all of a sudden told they can't go outdoors. So I'm going to let them sort that out, and let them know that I don't think it's going to be a problem for my pets. But it might be. I don't know, guys. If you have any experience with transitioning cats, let me know. So I did have to also do I guess the next guard. So I'll have to add that as like a recurring expense. Um, they charged $36 for um, each of them. And I did look up on Chewy, and it looks like I can do Chewy for $27.55 each. So I'll have to go back and get the prescription and mail it into Chewy because that's what they have to do, which is who uses mailing these days. Um, but that's how it's going to do to save me $10. Actually, it'd be $20 a month because I have two cats. So that's that covered. Let's go ahead and close that out. Let's check out the variable expenses. So right now I have $0 available for food, and I absolutely need to add another. Give me a second. I wrote down what I wanted to do, and now, oh, my goodness. Hold on. Sorry about that. That was probably a little alarming. Let's go in and see how much I wrote down for food. Okay, I said 200. I don't know, guys. As much as I've been spending on food, I think I'm going to do 250. Let's see how that does. Oh my gosh, it's been almost $600 on food in 1 month for one. Okay, it's not really one person. I have been buying for other people, but that seems like a lot. I just need to look. Oh my goodness, I can't remember anything. Um, I'm actually taking the day off to help my daughter out, so my mind is on other things right now. Let's see. Health care. Okay, I didn't have anything scheduled for health care. I don't have any like supplementals. I got my prescription, but it's $0, so we're all good there. Personal, I did put $20 on my thing here in case I needed to get something personal. Just I buy things often, so I just personal care. I'm trying to think as far as the category goes, what that might include. Sometimes I just buy things for myself. Maybe I need some hair clips, or maybe I need socks or a pair of pants. That's personal. So I'm just going to drop $20 in there. I don't expect to have any bank fees or interest. Although, I've got to figure out how to deal with the payments I make to the HELOC, because I noticed that when I sent the payment in, part of the payment was interest. So I'm going to have to sort that out to figure that out, just so I can track it a little bit better and track how much interest it is. But I'm not going to do that today because this is supposed to be a short video. We'll see how that goes. I'm not planning on doing any uncategorized, which is also known as miscellaneous, so I'm going to leave that blank. Household, I do have $50 for this, and right now on my list I've already got toilet paper and dish soap, which I forgot the other day when I went to get household stuff. So I've already got 2 things on the list for household, so yeah. And that could easily be $50, right? Toilet paper at BJ's is not cheap, but it lasts a really, really long time. And the reason I ran out is because I actually sent some of it over with Rachel when she moved into her other house. So let's do that. So I don't think I need anything. I'm not ready for ChatGPT yet, so I'm just going to hold off on that. And when I do it, I might put it in the memberships and subscriptions. Maybe. It seems like it's a household thing, but I don't know. I feel like if I'm being consistent, it should be in membership and household. So you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and move that down there. There we go. So nothing more in household. Let's look at transportation. I do believe I am going to need fuel because I am making a lot of trips to the next county over to help Rachel. And at the end, I'll give you guys an update on that for those of you who are interested. Personal property tax. These I don't need to worry about right now. I will have to start thinking about putting money into this because, if I want to have it ready, I can go over here and create a target and say that I need how much are per personal property taxes. They are about $240. If I say I need $240 yearly by May. And I think it's at the end of May. But I'm just going to put May 1st. And I save that target. It's going to tell me that right now to have $240 by May, I should be putting this much money in a month. Actually, I don't think it's that much money a month, but yeah, no, it's only, yeah. And that's just to play catch up because if I had put $20 in a month from May through May, then it would have been equal. But this is just to play catch up. So I am going to have to start doing this because this amount is just going to keep going up every single month. Do I want to do that now? So in considering whether or not I should just be focusing all on debt, yeah, I think I should be focusing pretty heavily on debt. However, I was thinking maybe 10% or so. I got some feedback about how much maybe I should be putting into saving to help out. And I think I'm going to right now stick to around 10% or maybe about $300 a month and put that into savings. I had earmarked it to go into sinking funds, but it could very easily go into these types of savings goals for different types of yearly payments. But for today, I think I'm going to stick to those sinking funds that I've already kind of earmarked for. But maybe next month, out of that 300, or excuse me, it's not by month, it's by pay period. So next pay period, maybe I'll put some into maybe. Okay, just thinking out loud here, guys. So just follow my train of thought if you can. Maybe one of the paychecks will go towards sinking funds and the other will go towards these yearly fees that I have to account for, paying part of it every single month. I think that's a good plan. So maybe the first paycheck are for real sinking funds, and then the second paycheck are for all of these things that I have to pay off yearly or bi-yearly or whatever. Okay, I've decided. Thanks for hearing me out. So I guess it would be opposite. Second paycheck. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm so distracted. Okay, I'm going to put it in. This is the second paycheck of the month, and I'm going to put it in my savings. Let's look at entertainment. I believe I have some things coming up. I'll need $2.99 here. I'll need $7.99 here. I am going to have the boys at my house after Rachel's surgery, but I think I'm going to do this. Maybe just allot myself a little money for a movie or something with them. Although it'll be during the week, so Hmm. All right, I'll consider that. I'll kind of think about what we're going to do while they're here, and go from there. YouTube Premium. This would be that saving up in the first paycheck of the month. So I'm not going to do this right now. Um, the next payment on this will be a full year from now, and it's even telling me I don't need to put any money in right now. Okay. So I still have 2,300 hobbies. I'm still working on that crochet shirt for my son. So no. Gifting. Okay, so this is where Christmas is going to come into play. I'm not going to put it in here. So this will be when I actually start spending. I'll put it up in here, but for now it's going to be in this savings account, um, which represents this amount here, right? This, oh, I think, okay, this 118.77 should always equal the amount in this account called Sinks. It's just my savings account. So let's go in here, and I have kind of prioritized what the $300 that I'm going to do, which is roughly 10%. I know it's a little bit more. Maybe I can get a little bit more precise and say 280 next time. But I did this, it was pretty late last night when I kind of penciled this in. So the first thing, of course, is going to be gifting because Christmas. So I'm going to put the majority of it towards the expenses that are coming up right away, and that's gifting and transportation. Pet care is already covered for the very near future, so I am going to put some in that, but it's going to be a lower priority. So the two that I'm going to focus now are gifting and transportation. And the reason, because Christmas, and I have in December an inspection, oil change, and possibly tires. So gifting will be plus 115. Okay, so vehicle maintenance and repair will be 110. Pet care will be 25. My season tickets, which is in February, it's coming up soon, will be 25. And finally, I want to start prepping for travel next year, so I'm going to put 25 there. So what that means is this amount right here, I need to transfer from my checking account to my savings account, and I will do that off screen and get that taken care of. So it's $300 that should be transferred in there a little bit later. Okay, so that was the short term. Let's look at memberships and subscriptions. I'm going to move this to the bottom. YNAB did come out. Amazon Prime is almost a full year away. BJ's is coming up soon. That's only $60. Let's see if I have this. Yeah. Why don't I go ahead and, no, I said, so why am I doing this? I said I would do this at the start of the month, so I'm not going to cover that with this paycheck. All right. Long-term investments and goals. I do have the Roth that has already come out, and credit card payments. So I will be putting, this is going to be zero. I'm not going to, okay, backtracking already. I start to say it and then I say, no, I'm not. I was thinking I could hide this, but I'm not going to, because this is an active card. I do plan on using it from time to time. But I want to get through this, this interim period where I need to have the zero balance at the time that my statement posts. And that's just so that I don't get charged that $70. So this should stay active. I will be using it strategically, but it will never run a balance more than a month. I hope. That's the plan. Okay. The HELOC, I will pay off as much as I can this month. So right now I have about $2,000, and that I know that's not going to be available by the end of the month, right? But I will put at least $1,400 and probably more. And the reason being is because I have a $4,000 balance that I would like to go ahead and pay off. Green Sky does have a balance, but the first payment is not due until October, and it's zero interest credit card. So that one I'm just going to stretch as long as I can because I'm not incurring any fees. This would be more important to pay off as soon as possible because it does accrue interest. So, in thinking in terms of from this $2,000, what will have to go towards, at a minimum, what will go towards debt, which is, this amount right here will be at a minimum $1,400. So, all that being said, I could say, okay, I have the expectation that I want to set aside $1,400 for debt, and that's the minimum. So that means I have $645 left to consider how I want to assign that. Do I want to assign additional funds for just throw whatever I can at the debt? Or do I want to put a little bit of money to put into part of the mortgage that'll be due on the 1st of next month? And that would alleviate the burden of my first paycheck to cover my most, other than debt, that is, one of my most costly expenses. But I just saw a video that YNAB's wanting you to think about how your mindset about budgeting, and they're getting away from this budget plan, and they want you to consider not that you're covering expenses, is that you're spending your earned money, and you're spending it mindfully, and you're spending it in a way that provides you joy and happiness and gets you what you want from life. And I might be off center here in the screen. I do that from time to time. No, I was okay. I was a little off. So I am going to try and adopt that mentality. So these aren't expenses. This is spending. Spending to cover the things that I want and I need. So I'll try to replace expenses with spending. So I have another $645 to spend. Okay, I really need to sort out why my headphones keep cutting out. It did this before with another set of headphones, and I had to go into the headphone settings to change the auto turn off time period. I'll just have to find that with these new headphones. Okay, so let's go back and now talk about this 645. I think I want to think about this, guys. Because I have been overspending. I'm $250 in food. I'm going to put another 50 here, just because I know I'm overspending there. And so now that's $595. Okay, so let me consider what to do with this $595. I'm going to leave it ready to assign because I need to think about what's going to make me happy. Now, I just want to go, for those of you who are still around and who may be interested in hearing about Rachel, for those who were not here at the end of the video that I talked about this, she has been diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer specifically, and they are working to get her into surgery as soon as possible. Right now, that's scheduled for the first Monday of October. The first week I will have the boys at my house to allow her to recover, and her boyfriend is going to stay with her during that time. I'll go over when I take the boys to school, and check on her, see what she needs, and sit with her if needed. I'm actually taking a full 2 weeks off from work to help her with this. And then the second week, I'm actually going to be there, and I'm going to be sleeping on their pull-out sofa and helping get the boys where they need to be. And then the third week post-op, it's going to be, how is she recovering? Is she able to have some mobility? So after the first 2 weeks, we're going to play it by ear. If I need to, I'll stay over there. I have a laptop from work. I can take my laptop and do work from there while I'm helping her recover. Um, they did give her a fairly positive outlook for being able to remove it, but with you just don't know. So I remain hopeful that everything's going to go okay with her. Um, it's just to be her age, she's in her mid 30s, and to be dealing with this, no, it's just I hate it for her. But because I don't think it's going to impact what I do here on this channel. Even though I'm going to be there with her and support her as much as I can, I will need breaks. And believe it or not, you guys, I actually enjoy doing this. This makes me happy. So more than likely what will happen is I will just say, hey, on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever, I am just going to take a day break. I will coordinate. Of course, it may be one or the other. It's all honestly going to be dependent upon who can be there with her, because I don't want her to strain herself and make her recovery take longer. So depending on how that works, so my schedule might be a little bit wonky, but just bear with me. I'll still post. It just may not be on the day that it's expected. I will try to at least let you guys know when I will be posting next, if I know that information. So she's got a lot of doctor's appointments right now. I'm taking off the day. I'm going to go help her today get some places and do some things, and also help her with her house, because she hasn't been able to get her house in order, and she feels with the move, she feels unsettled, and she doesn't need to be going into surgery to remove cancer feeling unsettled. So I'm going to go over there, in addition to a doctor's appointment, also help her with getting her house in order. So hopefully that will make her feel better. It's just been so stressful. In any case, that's kind of what's going on there. I still appreciate those vibes. If you want to send them, I will take them and pass them on to her for sure. The next video, it looks like it's going to be on Saturday, and it will be a normal budget by Paycheck workbook. So I will see you then.